Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. Asian countries must combine forces to help address their common challenges for betterment of future generations, said Prime Minister. PK Haldar will be tried in both Bangladesh and India for his involvement in money laundering, said Anti-Corruption Commission Commissioner. India's sixth corridor to supply electricity through Parbatipur in Dinajpur of Bangladesh. A team left Dhaka for Delhi to discuss the issues. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today said the Asian countries must combine forces to help address their common challenges for betterment of the future generations as well. The Premier said this in a video statement at the 27th International Nike Conference Case on Future of Asia in Tokyo. The Premier placed 5 proposals in this regard where the Asian countries can best cooperate for the goal. These include cooperations on the best use of the ICT, safeguarding fairness and justice and sustainable and balanced development, establishing win-win international relations. She requested all, especially Japan and other OECD countries, to extend the preferential facilities to Bangladesh at least until 2029 to help it attain the overarching goal of the sustainable development by 2030. PK Haldar will be tried in both Bangladesh and India for his involvement in money laundering. Anti-Corruption Commission ACC Commissioner Muzammil Haq Khan, he also said many of his arrested accomplices had already given confessional statement against him in court, the ACC official said while attending an event in Madaripur on Friday. As many as 35 cases have been filed against PK Haldar, former managing director of NRB Global Bank and Reliance Finance, and his associates. If they could bring PK Haldar back to Bangladesh and interrogate him, they would be able to glean further information about his involvement, he also added. The ACC Commissioner said the main task of ACC was to take the stand against corruption, that it was working relentlessly to bring back PK Haldar and recover the money laundering by him. India is seeking a corridor to supply electricity from the Katihar, Bihar to the Barnaghar of Assam through the Parbatipur and Dinajpur in Bangladesh. This issue will be discussed at an upcoming joint working group and steering committee meetings likely to be held on May 28 to 29. A high-level team led by the Bangladesh Power Secretary Mohammad Habibur Rahman left Dhaka on Thursday for Delhi for the meeting on the power sector cooperation between the Bangladesh and India as well. However, the sharing data hydropower project with Bangladesh bring lower riparian country legal, implemental, operational and security issues raised in the joint working group JWG meeting need to be addressed to facilitate the project. A 6-member committee has been formed to examine the legal and operational aspects. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has alleged today that BNP is conspiring to destabilize the country even before the inauguration of Podda Bridge. He also said BNP leaders have lost their mind after seeing mega projects including Podda Bridge, Metro Rail, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Karnofuli Tunnel, mentioning that the BNP Secretary General is making fictitious allegation of the corruption in the Podda Bridge. Obaidul Qadir further said that he would have to apologize for lying about the mega project if he couldn't provide specific information. BNP National Standing Committee member Dr. Khandokar Mosharraf Hussain has warned the government that Chhatrodol has started a movement in the streets. He also said this at the National Press Club today. He called on the government of resign immediately if it didn't want to see a situation similar likely to the Sri Lanka. He called upon all the united in the movement for follow the government and be ready on the streets. He said on attack the Chhatrodol was carried out at the instigations of the government and demanded immediate arrest of those involved in the incident. Prominent Bangladeshi British writer and columnist Abdul Ghaffar Choudhury will be laid at rest at the Mathat Intellectuals Graveyard on Mirpur on Saturday. Ghaffar Choudhury's final journey will start from the London in a Biman Bangladesh Airlines flight, and the body will reach Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport on Saturday. Liberation War Affairs Minister A.K.M. Muzammil Haq will receive Ghaffar Choudhury's mortal remains at the airport on behalf of the Bangladesh government. His body will be kept at Central Shahid Minar from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for the government to give a guard of honor and the people of pay their last tributes. His Namaz Janaza will be held at Dhaka University Central Mosque at 3:30 p.m. and then the mortal remains will be taken to the National Press Club for the journalists to pay homage at 4 p.m. Ghaffar Chaudhry will be buried at Martyr Intellectual Graveyard in Mirpur at 5:30 p.m. On May 19, the veteran writer died at the cardiac arrest at hospital in London. He was 88. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. In Senegal, 11 newborn babies died in a fire at hospital's maternity unit on Wednesday in the western city of the Tivaouane. According to the city's mayor, preliminary investigations suggest a short circuit caused by the blaze. He added that 3 babies were rescued. Meanwhile, Senegal's health ministry said a government delegation has been dispatched to the site. The tragedy prompted outrage in the West African nation over the rundown state of its healthcare facilities. It comes as the country's hospital system was already facing public scrutiny over a lack of funding and poor safety standard. Last year, 4 newborn babies were killed in a fire at a different hospital. America's top diplomat has outlined the Biden administration's policy towards China. In a 45-minute speech at George Washington University on Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken explained that Beijing poses the most serious long-term challenges to the international order. Blinken summed up the administration's strategy in the 3 words: invest, align, and compete. He laid out the framework of the Washington strategy aimed at investigating in the U.S. competitiveness and the aligning with the allies as well as the partner for the compete with China. He emphasized that the U.S. is not looking for the conflict or a new Cold War. Besides, on the issue of the Taiwan, Blinken stressed that Washington remains committed to the One China policy. The Islamabad police registered a case against senior PTI leaders, including Chairman Imran Khan, for the riot that took place in Islamabad during the Azadi March a day prior. Apart from the Khan, police also registered cases against the PTI leader Asad Umar, Imran Ismail, Raja Khurram Nawaz, Ali Amin Gandapur and Ali Nawaz Awam. The police registered 2 separate cases at the Kushair police station for the rioting and arson. The cases have been registered against 150 people, out of which 39 have been arrested. They also mention the burning of the metro bus station, the Islamabad Jinnah Avenue, damaging a government vehicle at the Express Chowk. A boat carrying 842 Haitian migrants bound for the United States has instead washed ashore along the north coast of Cuba. Cuba state media reported that the boat was found early on Tuesday near a popular vacation spot, causing a scramble to the power and provide humanitarian aid up to the group, which included more than the 150 women and the children as well. Reports said that the several days of the stormy weather forces the coast towards on Cuba, while many Haitians have taken to see the escape gang violence and poverty at home. Cuba itself is experiencing mass migration due to the shortage of food and medicine.
While many Haitians have taken
K-pop superstar BTS will meet U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House on May 31st on discuss anti-Asian hate crimes as well as the Asian inclusion and the representation. This is according to the White House press briefing on Thursday, which added they will also discuss the importance of the diversity and inclusion as well as the BTS platform, which enable them to spread the message of the hope to global audience. May mark Asian American and the Pacific in Islander for the Heritage Month of the U.S. In May of 2021, President Biden signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act to support hate crime investigation. Taking action requires courage, and here is an example of the bravery from the young female 21-year-old, the change maker, the Medati Wesen, named one of the most influential teens of the name world by the time. In 2018, she started the Bye Bye Plastic Bags campaign when she was 12 along with her sister Isabel. This all began as a project to protect her home in Bali. In an interview with media, she said growing up in Bali gave her a fresh perspective on environmental issues and also started a bye-bye plastic bag without a business plan, without a strategy, but with a very clear vision of the making their home a Bali plastic bag free. Bye-bye plastic bag, how now it has grown into international movement of the inspiration. Before ending, we go through the SATV news headlines again. Asian countries must combine forces to help address their common challenges for betterment of the future generations, said Prime Minister. PK Haldar will be tried in both Bangladesh and India for his involvement in money laundering, said Anti-Corruption Commission Commissioner. India's sixth corridor to supply electricity through the Parbatipura Dinaspur in Bangladesh. A team left Dhaka for Delhi to discuss the issues. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.